Morning all. All right, let's preview some weekend games. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday all on the board. We have 5 games on Friday, 12 games on Saturday, 4 games on Sunday. Let's go. All right, starting things off with Friday, of course, because it'd be weird if I didn't. Tonight at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific, we have Pittsburgh and Columbus. I hope this is a good game because it's the only game on for the first 2 hours of the night. Pittsburgh 6-9-3 to start the season. Columbus is 5-8-2. This is the first of 3 meetings. They'll meet again January 7th and March the 21st. Sidney Crosby, 6 goals, 11 assists, 17 points, just below a point per game, so don't be surprised when he gets a couple of points. And Erik Karlsson, 2 goals, 8 assists, 10 points for him. Pittsburgh's 3-5-2 over their last 10 games. They're scoring 2.72 goals per game. They're allowing 3.83 goals against per game. That's not a recipe for success. On the Columbus side, Chinakhov, 4 goals, 6 assists, 10 points for him. Werenski, 3 goals, 7 assists, 10 points for him. The Columbus Blue Jackets are also 3-5-2 in their last 10 games. They're scoring 3.07 goals per game. They're allowing 3.6 goals against per game. So their numbers are mildly better than Pittsburgh's, but yeah, both teams looking for a win in this one. 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific. We got 3 games starting then, beginning with the Washington Capitals and the Colorado Avalanche. Florida's 10-4-1 in the season. Colorado is 9-8, and as I've been mentioning in news videos recently, getting healthier. Dylan Strome. Actually, I should mention first too. November 21st, these teams will meet again in Washington. There we go. Now, Dylan Strome, 5 goals, 18 assists, 23 points, has had an amazing run so far this year. John Carlson, 2 goals, 9 assists, 11 points. Washington's record over their last 10 is 6-3-1. They're scoring 4.13 goals per game, which is a lot, and they're only allowing 2.93 goals against per game. On the Colorado side, Nathan MacKinnon, 7 goals, 26 assists for 33 points. Makar, 6 goals, 19 assists for 25 points. Colorado 6-4 in their last 10. They're scoring 3.47 goals per game. They're allowing 3.71 goals against per game. 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific start between Nashville and the Calgary Flames. Nashville's 5-9-3. Calgary is 8-6-3. This is the first of 3 meetings. They'll meet again December 10th and January 4th. Nashville's going to hope they have better luck against Calgary than they did against Edmonton. Forsberg, 8 goals, 5 assists, 13 points thus far this season. Yossi, a goal to go with 11 assists for 12 points. Nashville's 3-4-3 in their last 10, scoring 2.41 goals per game and allowing 3.29 goals against per game. On the Calgary side, Connor Zary, 3 goals, 5 assists, 8 points for him. Weegar, 3 goals, 4 assists for 7 points. Calgary's 3-5-2 in their last 10. They're scoring 2.71 goals per game, and they're allowing 2.94 goals against per game. 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific start between the Vegas Golden Knights and the Utah Hockey Club. Vegas is 10-4-2 on the season. Utah's 7-6-3. On November 2nd, Vegas won this matchup in overtime 4-3. These teams will meet again on November 30th. Barbashev, 8 goals, 9 assists, 17 points. Remarkable numbers from Ivan Barbashev so far this season. Noah Hannafin, 3 goals, 5 assists for 8 points. Vegas is 7-2-1 in their last 10 games. They're scoring 4.13 goals per game. They're allowing 3.13 goals against per game. On the Utah side of things, Clayton Keller, 6 goals, 8 assists. He's been quiet for a while now. Ian Cole, 1 goal, 5 assists, 6 points, providing them with some veteran leadership on the blue line. Utah's 3-5-2 in their last 10, scoring 2.81 goals per game and allowing 3.25 goals against per game. And then at 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific, the last game of the night starts up. It's Detroit and Anaheim. First of 2 meetings, they'll meet again February 23rd in Detroit. For the Wings, they're 7-7-1 on the season. Anaheim is 5-8-2. Dylan Larkin, 9 goals, 3 assists, 12 points for him. Edvinsson, 2 goals, 4 assists, 6 points for Edvinsson. Detroit is 5-4-1 in their last 10 games. They're scoring 2.47 goals per game. They're allowing an even 3 goals against per game. On the Anaheim side, Leo Carlsson, 5 goals, 2 assists, 7 points. Dumoulin, 3 assists on a blue line that doesn't score a ton of points. 3-6-1 is the record for Anaheim over their last 10 games. They're scoring 2.2 goals per game and allowing 3.07 goals against per game, which would be much higher if it wasn't for the magician work done by Lucas Dostal so far this season. All right, so there's an old sound for longtime subscribers. All right, let's get into Saturday's games. 12 games on Saturday. That definitely seems to be better. I was starting to hear my voice crack there. Anyways, starting at 10 a.m. 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 o'clock Eastern, St. Louis and Boston. So this will be the only game on. It is our intention to have a live stream for members and patrons during this game tomorrow. So stay tuned for a start time for that live stream. November 12th, of course, Boston wins 3-2 in a comeback victory against the St. Louis Blues. So the Blues will be looking for a measure of revenge. The Blues are 7-9-1 on the season. Boston is 8-8-2. Buchnevich, 5 goals, 6 assists, 11 points for Buchnevich on the Blues, in the Blues forward group. From their blue line, Parayko, 4 goals, 6 assists for 10 points. St. Louis is 3-6-1 in their last 10. They really need to turn this around. Scoring 2.53 goals per game and allowing 3.47 goals against per game. On the Boston side, Marchand, 5 goals, 8 assists, 13 points for him. Zadorov has 5 helpers, so he's still looking for his first goal with the Bruins. Boston's 5-4-1 in their last 10. They're scoring 2.5 goals per game. They need to bring that up. And they're allowing 3.39 goals against per game. 4 Eastern, 1 Pacific start between the New York Islanders and the Seattle Kraken. This is the first of 2 meetings. They'll meet again December the 5th in New York. The Islanders 7-6-4 on the season. The Kraken have evened their record now at 8-8-1. On the Islanders side, Horvat, 5 goals, 9 assists, 14 points. Dobson, 1 goal, 6 assists, 7 points. 4-4-2 record for the Islanders over their last 10. They're scoring 2.65 goals per game. They're allowing 3.06 goals against per game. On the Seattle side, McCann, 8 goals, 12 assists for 20 points. Adam Larson, a goal with 2 assists for 3 points. And the Kraken are 4-5-1 over their last 10. They're scoring and allowing 3 goals per game. So nice even numbers there. 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games starting at the same time. Okay. And then there's just the 1 late game. So Saturday's just a weird schedule. So starting at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific, we got the Oilers 9-7-1 against the Toronto Maple Leafs 10-6-2. This is the first of 2 meetings. They'll meet again in Edmonton on February the 1st. Draisaitl, 12 goals, 10 assists for 22 points. Excellent numbers from him so far. Kulak, 4 goals, 3 assists, 7 points. 4 goals is pretty impressive for him, to be honest. The Oilers are 7-3 in their last 10, so they're trending in the right direction. 2.76 goals scored per game and 3.12 goals allowed per game for Edmonton. On the Toronto side, Nylander, 12 goals, 8 assists for 20 points. Morgan Riley, 4 goals, 9 assists for 13 points. Toronto 6-2-2 in their last 10. They're scoring an even 3 goals per game and allowing 2.61 goals against per game. Also at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific, the Columbus Blue Jackets, who will have just played at home against Pittsburgh, then get to go to Montreal. Columbus is 5-8-2 this season, whereas Montreal's 5-10-2. This is the first of 3 meetings. They'll meet again November 27th and December 23rd. Sean Monahan, 6 goals, 5 assists, 11 points for him so far this season. Provorov, 1 goal, 3 assists for 4 points. Known more for the defensive side of things at this stage. Columbus is 3-5-2, as I previously mentioned, in their last 10, scoring 3.07 goals per game, allowing 3.6 goals against per game, and against a Montreal team that has definitely struggled with scoring themselves in recent games. Although against Buffalo, hey. Caulfield, 12 goals and an assist for 13 points. Matheson has 10 assists so far this year, so he's due for a goal. Montreal's 3-6-1 in their last 10, scoring 2.71 goals per game and allowing 4.06 goals against per game. 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific start between New Jersey and Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay won the first matchup October 22nd by a score of 8-5. These teams meet again January the 11th. New Jersey's 12-6-2 coming off back-to-back wins in Florida against the Panthers. Tampa Bay 8-6-1 coming off of a big win against the Winnipeg Jets. So both of these teams should be pretty confident. These teams meet again January 11th. So yeah, we'll see how that one goes. Jesper Bratt, 8 goals, 16 assists, 24 points. One of the many who's doing quite well for New Jersey. Dougie Hamilton, a goal with 14 assists for 15 points. He has really picked it up lately. 7-2-1 is the record for the Devils over their last 10 games. They're scoring 3.6 goals per game. They're allowing 2.6 goals against per game. On the Tampa Bay side, Hagel, 8 goals, 8 assists for 16 points. Hedman, 3 goals, 11 assists for 14 points. 5-4-1 is the record for Tampa Bay in their last 10 games. They're scoring 3.53 goals per game and allowing 3 goals against per game. 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific start between Winnipeg and Florida. This is the first of back-to-back matchups. November 19th will be the other matchup in Winnipeg. The Jets, 15-2 so far this season. Florida, 11-5-1. This should be an interesting one because the last time Winnipeg lost a game, they took it out on the NHL for a while, but Florida's coming off back-to-back losses, and they're the defending Stanley Cup champions, so no idea what's going to happen here other than some very entertaining hockey. Ehlers, 9 goals, 11 assists, 20 points for him so far for Winnipeg this year. Pionk has had an amazing run, 3 goals, 14 assists for 17 points. Winnipeg scoring 4.35 goals per game and allowing 2.24 goals against per game. On the Florida side, they're 11-5-1 as previously mentioned. Sam Reinhart, a big part of the reason they've had a good record. 13 goals, 12 assists, 25 points. Mikkola has 8 assists on the blue line, so there's another one due for a goal. They're 7-3 in their last 10, but as I previously mentioned, they've lost back-to-back games after winning 7 in a row. 3.53 goals per game by Florida. 3.29 goals against per game for Florida. And again, should be a great one here. 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific start between Buffalo and the Philadelphia Flyers. This is the first of 3 meetings. They'll meet again March 29th and April the 17th. For Buffalo, they're 8-8-1 on the season. Philadelphia is 7-8-2. Alex Tuch, 5 goals, 11 assists, 16 points. Really strong run for him. Owen Power, 3 goals, 10 assists, 13 points for Power. The Buffalo Sabres are 6-4 in their last 10. And 3.41 goals scored per game, 3.29 goals against per game for them. On the Philadelphia side, Konechny, 9 goals, 10 assists for 19 points. Sanheim, 4 goals, 5 assists for 9 points. The Flyers are actually 6-3-1 in their last 10, so they're trending in the right direction, scoring 2.71 goals per game and allowing 3.59 goals against per game. 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific start between San Jose and Pittsburgh. So for the Sharks, they are 5-10-3 on the season, coming off of a close loss against the Rangers. Pittsburgh will be back home after going to Columbus on Friday to play at home on Saturday, and again, they're 6-9-3. This is the first of 2 meetings. They'll meet again in San Jose on January 27th. The Sharks, Eklund, 2 goals, 10 assists, 12 points. Liljegren, 7 games, 1 goal with San Jose. I know. But this is a defense that definitely needed a guy like Liljegren, and so whatever he wants to be called, I'm fine with that because he's honestly, I think, been their best defenseman since he got there. They're 5-4-1 in their last 10 games, those San Jose Sharks are, scoring 2.33 goals per game and allowing 3.39 goals against per game. On the Pittsburgh side, Malkin, 5 goals, 13 assists for 18 points. Marcus Pettersson, 1 goal, 7 assists, 8 points. Pittsburgh again, 3-5-2 in their last 10, scoring 2.72 goals per game, allowing 3.83 against. This is just not sustainable. 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific start between Ottawa and Carolina, just meaning things have got to get a little better for Pittsburgh. So, Ottawa and Carolina, Ottawa's 8-7-1 so far this year, whereas Carolina's 11-4. This is the first of 3 meetings. They'll meet again December 13th as well as April the 17th. Drake Batherson, 7 goals, 9 assists, 16 points for Batherson. Shabbat, 1 goal, 10 assists for 11 points. Ottawa's 4-5-1 in their last 10. Depending on the game that you've just watched of Ottawa's, you might think they're great. You might think they're not. You never know. 4-5-1 as mentioned. 3.44 goals scored per game. 3.06 goals against per game. For Carolina, Natchez, really great story. 9 goals, 16 assists, 25 points for him so far this season. Slavin, a goal and 6 assists on the blue line. Carolina's 8-2 in their last 10, scoring an even 4 goals per game and allowing 2.67 goals against per game. The Dallas Stars and the Minnesota Wild meet for the first of 4 meetings this season on Saturday. Dallas 10-5 on the season. Minnesota 11-2-3. They will meet again on December 27th, March 24th, and April the 6th. On the Dallas side, Duchesne continues to be their best, most consistent offensive player. 9 goals, 11 assists, 20 points for Duchesne. Heiskanen, 2 goals, 4 assists on the blue line. Just the 6 points, but he's been playing well. 6-4 record for Dallas over their last 10, coming off that huge win over Boston last night. They're scoring 3.47 goals per game and allowing 2.33 goals against per game. On the Minnesota side, Boldy, 10 goals, 7 assists for 17 points. Middleton, 3 goals, 6 assists for 9 points. Minnesota 7-2-1 in their last 10 games, scoring an even 3.5 goals per game and allowing 2.38 goals against per game. 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. We get another one going, and that is the Detroit Red Wings and the LA Kings. So Detroit goes from Anaheim to LA. Nice quick trip there. This is the first of 2 meetings. They'll meet again January the 27th in Detroit. The Wings are 7-7-1 this season. And for the Kings, they're 9-6-3. On the Detroit side, Patrick Kane, 3 goals, 7 assists, 10 points for him. Moritz Seider, 1 goal, 7 assists, 8 points. Again, Detroit 5-4-1 in their last 10, scoring 2.47 goals per game and allowing an even 3 at the other end. LA, Kempe, 7 goals, 9 assists, 16 points for him. Brant Clark, 2 goals, 11 assists, 13 points on the blue line. LA's 5-4-1 in their last 10. They're scoring 3.17 goals per game and allowing a 2.94 goals against per game, which seems a little bit high for the way that LA plays the game, but we'll see if that number comes down. 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific, Chicago and Vancouver get at it again. October 22nd, Vancouver went into Chicago and won 6-3. We'll see if it's different in Vancouver. The Canucks are not as good at home as they are on the road. These teams meet again March the 15th. For Chicago, they're 6-10-1 to start the year. Donato, 8 goals, 3 assists, 11 points, has been their most dangerous goal scorer. Seth Jones, 2 goals, 8 assists, 10 points. Chicago's 4-6 in their last 10 games, scoring 2.41 goals per game and allowing 3.06 goals against per game, in part because they get excellent goaltending. On the Vancouver side, Jake DeBrusk, 3 goals, 6 assists for 9 points. Hronik, 1 goal, 5 assists for 6 points. Vancouver 6-3-1 in their last 10, but they're only scoring 3.13 goals per game, and they're allowing 3.20 goals against per game. Negative goal differential, it doesn't really lie. Vancouver's definitely had their struggles at home. So those are your Saturday games. Let's move on and do the Sunday games. We got 4 games on Sunday. The first one starting at 5 Eastern, 2 Pacific. So there's no really early game on Sunday. For the St. Louis, they go from Boston to Carolina. This is not going to be easy. St. Louis again, 7-9-1. Carolina 11-4. Interestingly enough, St. Louis is wrapping up their season series with Boston before wrapping up their season series with Carolina, and they beat Carolina October 19th by a score of 4-2. On the St. Louis side, Brandon Saad, 4 goals, 4 assists, 8 points. He had a couple of goals last night. We'll see if he can keep up his hot streak. Falk, 1 goal, 4 assists for 5 points. Again, St. Louis 3-6-1 in their last 10, scoring 2.53 goals per game, allowing 3.47 goals against per game. On the Carolina side, Sebastian Aho, 3 goals, 11 assists, 14 points. Gostisbehere, 4 goals, 6 assists, 10 points for him. 8-2 is the record for Carolina over their last 10 games, scoring an even 4 goals per game and allowing 2.67 against per game. So for Carolina, they host Ottawa, then they host St. Louis. Going to be some back-to-backs on the weekend. Then at 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 o'clock Pacific, the Washington Capitals will play Vegas. So what's interesting is Washington goes from Denver, which is not going to be easy, to Vegas, and Vegas has only lost 1 game at home all season. So that could be easy. And for Vegas, they go from playing in Utah tonight to playing at home against the Washington Capitals on Sunday. So Washington's 10-4-1, Vegas is 10-4-2, as I previously talked about. October 15th, Washington won this matchup 4-2. So this is another season series coming to an end, and we're not even 20 games into the season. Ovechkin, 10 goals, 9 assists for 19 points, has been very strong for them. Sandin, 2 goals, 6 assists, 8 points. Again, 6-3-1 record in their last 10. 4.13 goals scored per game, 2.93 goals against per game. Whereas on the Vegas side, Eichel, 5 goals, 20 assists, 25 points. Career year for him on the way. Theodore, a goal and 12 assists for 13 points. Vegas, 7-2-1. What's interesting is their goals per game is the same as Washington's at 4.13. Goals against per game, a little bit higher than Washington's at 3.13 per game. But it tells you that since their records are almost the same and their numbers are very similar, these two teams are playing a similar game. 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific start between the New York Rangers and the Seattle Kraken. This is the first of 2 meetings. They'll meet again in New York on December the 8th. The New York Rangers 10-4-1 so far this season. Panarin 10 goals, 13 assists, 23 points. Adam Fox 13 assists because they took his goal away last night, so they did. 6-4 record for the Rangers over their last 10 games. 3.67 goals scored per game, 2.53 goals against per game. On the Seattle side of things, again, an 8-1 record. Jaden Schwartz, 4 goals, 6 assists for 10 points. Montour, 4 goals, 7 assists, 11 points. Seattle 4-5-1 in their last 10, as previously mentioned. Scoring and allowing an even 3 goals per game. So for Seattle, they go from hosting the Islanders to hosting the Rangers. There you go, from New York to New York. My favorite thing, though, is that in the Islanders-Rangers game that we've already had this year, referee going penalty on New York. Well, we know. Which New York? 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific starting time between Nashville and Vancouver. So Vancouver goes from playing at home against Chicago to playing at home against Nashville. These are back-to-back games that could get the Canucks on track. We'll see. So January 3rd and January 29th, I should say, will be the other 2 matchups between these teams. And, of course, they know each other from the playoffs this past season, and Kiefer Sherwood knows the guys on Nashville pretty well. Nashville 5-9-3 so far this season. Stamkos 4 goals, 4 assists, has been quiet by Stamkos standards. Shea 2 goals, 4 assists, 6 points, has been kind of quiet too. For the Nashville Predators, they're 3-4-3 in their last 10, scoring 2.41 per game, allowing 3.29 per game, and going from Calgary to going to Vancouver. They should be okay. That's not a huge, like, it's a relatively decent length trip, but yeah, Nashville should be all right. Again, they shouldn't have any trouble getting up for a game against the team that eliminated them in the playoffs. Vancouver, of course, 8-4-3. Pius Suter 6 goals and an assist for 7 points. Suter's been good in terms of getting goals. Quinn Hughes 3 goals, 13 assists, 16 points. Ho hum, he's just above a point per game. We're at the stage now where Hughes being above a point per game is no longer really big news. 6-3-1's the record for Vancouver over their last 10, scoring 3.13 goals per game as previously mentioned here, and allowing 3.2 against as previously mentioned here, and they'll be looking to bring those numbers down. If their goals against goes up between the games against both Chicago and Nashville, well, that'd be very troubling. But let me know your thoughts in the comments section below as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe in the event you may not have done so already. Thank you guys so much for all your support as always. I will talk to you again soon.